In the ancient realm of Eldoria, a land where the mountains soared to kiss the heavens and the forests whispered secrets older than time itself, there stretched a kingdom of boundless wonder. Eldoria was a tapestry of enchantment. Its rivers sang lullabies to the emerald valleys below. Its winds carried the faint laughter of spirits long faded into legend, and its skies shimmered with hues no mortal tongue could name. Yet beneath this beauty lay a quiet sorrow, for even in a realm so steeped in magic, death wove its inevitable thread through every life. In a humble village nestled at the foot of the Silver Peaks lived a young warrior named Aric. His frame was lean yet strong, honed by years of wielding a blade passed down from ancestors whose names still echoed in fireside tales. His eyes, a deep hazel flecked with gold, held a spark of unyielding determination, though now they were shadowed with grief. For Aric's heart belonged to Elara, the healer's daughter, a woman whose gentle spirit seemed to light the world around her. Elara was a vision of grace, her hair a cascade of chestnut waves, her twilight blue eyes brimming with kindness, her voice a melody that could ease the deepest pain. But fate had dealt her a cruel blow. A mysterious illness, its origins lost to even the wisest sages, had crept into her bones, sapping her strength until she lay frail and fading, a fragile echo of her former self. Aric could not bear to watch her slip away. Day after day he sat by her bedside, her cold hand clasped in his, searching for any flicker of hope in her dimming gaze. In his desperation he turned to the village elders, a council of weathered souls who gathered beneath the sprawling branches of the great oak. Their robes rustled like dry leaves as they spoke in hushed reverence of a legend older than the stones beneath their feet, the tale of the eternal tree. Far beyond the reaches of mortal paths, began the eldest, his voice a gravelly whisper that seemed to rise from the earth itself. Within the heart of the whispering woods stands a tree of such majesty that its roots pierce the soul of Eldoria, and its branches cradle the stars. Its fruits, golden as the first light of dawn, shimmer with the promise of eternal life for any brave enough to claim them. But heed this, Aric. The way is fraught with peril, guarded by creatures of myth and trials that test not merely the body, but the spirit. Aric's heart surged with a fragile hope, though fear gnawed at its edges. "I will go," he declared, his voice steady despite the tremor in his soul. "For Elara, I would face any trial, defy any shadow." The elders exchanged glances, their eyes heavy with the wisdom of ages. "Then go with our blessing," they said at last. "But know this, not all who seek the eternal tree find the prize they seek." With the dawn painting the sky in hues of rose and gold, Aric prepared for his quest. He donned armor forged by Eldoria's finest smiths, plates of steel etched with runes of protection, and took up his ancestral sword, its blade gleaming like captured moonlight. Kneeling beside Elara, he pressed a tender kiss to her pallid brow, her skin cool against his lips. "I will return with the fruit to save you," he whispered, his voice thick with resolve. Her faint smile was his only answer, a fragile thread of light in the gathering dark. With her love as his compass, he stepped beyond the village's edge and into the wild unknown. The journey began through landscapes that tested both body and spirit. Aric traversed shadowed vales where the air hung heavy with the scent of moss and decay, the ground soft and treacherous beneath his boots. He climbed jagged hills, their peaks shrouded in mist, each step a battle against the wind that howled like a chorus of lost souls. Over roaring torrents he crossed, their waters icy and swift, threatening to drag him into their depths. Yet through every hardship, Elara's face shimmered in his mind, her laughter, her touch, urging him onward when his strength faltered. After days that blurred into a timeless haze, Aric reached the border of the Whispering Woods. The trees here were ancient sentinels, their trunks gnarled and twisted, their branches swaying as if alive with murmured warnings. A stillness settled over the land, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the distant cry of some unseen creature. Aric's skin prickled as he felt the weight of countless eyes upon him, though none revealed themselves. Steeling his nerves, he stepped into the forest's embrace, his hand resting on his sword's hilt. The path grew wilder as he ventured deeper, the light fading until only slivers of sun pierced the canopy. Thickets of thorn clawed at his armor, and roots rose like snares beneath his feet. It was here that his first trial emerged, a towering stag, its antlers a sprawling crown of twisted thorns, its eyes glowing with the wisdom of forgotten eras. The beast stood taller than any man, its presence a force that seemed to command the very air. "Why dost thou seek the eternal tree?" It thundered, its voice a rumble that shook the earth and sent leaves spiraling down like autumn rain. Aric squared his shoulders, though his heart pounded like a war drum. "To save the one I love," he replied, his voice firm despite the awe that gripped him. "She is my world, and I will not let her fade." The guardian of the woods studied him, its gaze piercing through flesh to the soul beneath. After a silence that stretched like eternity, it lowered its head in a slow, deliberate bow. "Pass, mortal," it intoned, "but beware. The path ahead will test thy strength and thy spirit. Not all who seek shall find what they crave." With the stag's blessing, Aric pressed on, the woods growing darker and more oppressive. The air thickened with a mist that carried whispers, fragments of voices, laughter, and cries that seemed to drift from nowhere. His next challenge came without warning. A ravine spanned by a crumbling bridge of stone, its edges worn by centuries of wind and rain. Far below, a river roared, its waters black as night and flecked with foam. Aric hesitated, the wind tugging at his cloak, but the thought of Elara steadied his trembling hands. Step by cautious step he crossed, the stone groaning beneath his weight until he reached the far side, breathless but unbroken. Deeper still he journeyed, until he came upon the Mirror Lake. Its surface was a perfect sheet of glass, reflecting not the sky but a vision that struck him like a dagger to the chest. Elara, lifeless, her eyes closed in eternal slumber, his hands empty of hope. The sight stole his breath, tears blurring his vision as despair clawed at his heart. "No," he rasped, sinking to his knees. "This cannot be." Yet the lake held its cruel mirror, unyielding. Closing his eyes, Aric summoned her name like a prayer, letting the memory of her love guide him. Blindly, he stepped forward, his boots finding unseen stones beneath the water's surface, faith carrying him across the abyss of his fears. Days melted into nights, each step heavier than the last, until a golden light began to pierce the shadowed canopy. The air grew warm, infused with the scent of blooming flowers, and Aric's pulse quickened. At last he reached the heart of the woods, and there stood the eternal tree, a vision beyond mortal dreams. Its trunk rose vast as a fortress tower, its bark shimmering with veins of silver and gold. Leaves of emerald gleamed in the radiant glow, and from its boughs hung fruits of molten gold, each pulsing with an inner flame as if alive with the essence of eternity. Aric's breath caught at its splendor, his hand trembling as he reached for a fruit. But before his fingers brushed its skin, a voice filled the glade, ancient, soft as the wind through time, yet resonant with the weight of countless ages. It was the tree itself speaking. "Why dost thou seek my fruit, child of man?" it asked, its words weaving through the air like a melody of sorrow and wisdom. Aric sank to his knees, humbled before its majesty. "To save my beloved from death's grasp," he said, his voice breaking with emotion. "She is fading, and I cannot bear to lose her. She is my light, my everything." The tree's sigh was a mournful breeze, rustling its leaves in a symphony of melancholy. Life is a gift, precious and fleeting, yet so too is its end. My fruit grants not endless days, but the peace to embrace them. To live forever is to forsake the fleeting beauty of each moment, to deny the cycle that gives meaning to all things. Tears streamed down Aric's face, his chest tight with anguish. "But I love her," he choked out. "How can I let her go when she is my world?" "Love endures beyond the veil," the tree murmured, its voice gentle yet firm. "It is not bound by flesh nor time. Take a fruit, but know this. It heals not the body, but the soul. Hers, to find peace in her passing, and thine to find strength in release. What you seek is not immortality, but the courage to cherish what was." The truth settled into Aric's heart like roots finding fertile soil, painful yet undeniable. With trembling hands he plucked a single golden fruit, its warmth spreading through his palms like a final embrace. He bowed his head in gratitude, the tree's wisdom a bittersweet balm to his grief. The journey home passed in a haze of sorrow and dawning acceptance, the fruit cradled close to his chest. When he returned to the village, the elders awaited him, their eyes reflecting the knowledge he now carried. Aric went straight to Elara's side, where she lay as he had left her, fragile as a wilting flower. Her breathing was shallow, her skin pale as moonlight. With infinite tenderness, he placed the fruit in her hands, guiding it to her lips. She took a single bite, and a gentle smile curved her mouth, a smile of peace, of release. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice a faint echo of the melody he'd always loved. Her eyes fluttered shut, and Aric held her close, feeling her slip away like the last light of dusk. Yet within him bloomed the tree's gift, a quiet acceptance, a love unbound by the chains of time. When her final breath faded, Aric did not shatter, for he knew their bond would endure, eternal as the tree itself. And so, in the realm of Eldoria, the legend of the eternal tree lived on, not as a tale of endless life, but as a testament to the beauty of its brevity and the truth that love, once kindled, never truly fades.